Hello, Gareth here, and this is a video on colour mixing. So we're going to mix two colours and see what we can produce. So at first it might look boring, but it's actually quite good fun, and it's actually really good for improving your, basically making your watercolour mixes, which I think is one of the biggest problems that beginners have. So I'm going to begin with a thick mix. So I'm going to use alizarin crimson, and then I'm going to put that here. It's a beautiful colour, I hope you agree. Okay, then I wash out my brush, and then over here I'm going to do phthalo blue. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. So this is a bit too wet, so I'm going to dab my brush on here, and maybe this is obvious to you, but time and time again I see many beginner artists, well I only teach 3 artists, maybe 4, but I see that they're not using their rag enough. So if it's too watery, their mix, they'll just keep using it. So don't do that. This is like a break, and you can use this to get rid of excess water, get a bit more pigment, then mix it up and you've got a thicker mix. It is important to develop that habit and skill. It should be simple, but people forget. Okay, so now what we're going to do is mix a colour between these two. So maybe I'll do it here. So I'll take some of this, and I'm going to take some of this, and as you can see it's too blue. I might add some red like this, and a bit more red. And there, we're starting to get the colour we want. A little bit of water, not too much. And I think a little bit more red. When you start to do this, see how I begin over here, because this is too blue. I want it a bit redder. So I don't stick my red pigment directly in this mix. I begin again over here. Otherwise it's going to continue to be very blue. So I begin here, and this is looking better, and then I can keep adding more of this mix and it will get bluer and bluer. So I think maybe a tiny bit more red, and maybe over here, begin over here. So there we go. So I've got a thick mix still. This is important. You want to be doing a thick mix here, and we want it to be, I want to say 50% each, but I'm not sure that's right because this colour is just overpowering. So there we go. I think that's the kind of middle colour between these two. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the colour between these two. So I'm going to take some of this mix, then I'm going to wash my brush out, and then I'm going to get some red, a bit more, put it here, and then I'm just going to add some like that. And you can see already that's different, this and this. And so I think we've got it. And it's a thick mix as well. So here we go. So can you see? We've got this gradation. And now we're going to do this one. So for this one, basically I'm just going to get some blue, and I'm just going to begin here with pure blue, and then add a little of this purple mix. It's still too blue. So I might take this over here, and yeah, I think now we're getting the colour we want. Let's have a look. Oh yes, So it really is good training, this. And perhaps this colour should have been a little redder, perhaps. But I hope you can see what good practice this is. So now we're going to do the same thing again below, but this time we're going to use a more watery mix. So we're going to be adding more water. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is wash my brush out, and then I'm going to clean up this red. So just get some tissue and wipe it up. That will do. And now, very wet brush, quite wet, get a bit of red, and this time a more watery mix. I might add a tiny bit more and a little bit of water. This is all really good practice in mixing, and here we go. So there we go, a more watery mix. It might have a touch of blue in it. The more watery your light colours become, like your yellows and your reds, the more easily they become contaminated. It's an important thing to remember. It can be very good. It's very good when painting skies because you can get really subtle changes in colour with watery mixes. But it's something very important that you have to remember. Whereas with light colours like this, blues, they're a bit stronger. Okay. But of course, the more watery these get as well, the easier it is to change the colour if you mix it with something else. Okay, and I think, yeah, that's it. Okay, very good. I got a little bit of dirt, a hair or something. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so we've got a beautiful red and a beautiful blue, and now we're going to mix these. So I'll put my blue here, I'll take a bit of red, a bit more, a bit more, a bit more blue, and it's really good to take your time. Okay, let's have a look. Maybe that's a bit too bluish. So quickly, I'm going to mix on the paper. Not a good idea, but can't be helped. I'm just going to make it a bit redder. I think that's better. Okay, very good. And now let's do this one because it's probably easier to do. With the red we need a cleaner mix, but I think here we can make this darker one quite easily. Get rid of excess red. Okay, and then maybe add a touch of blue. Too much, get rid of that. If I've got too much, I'll just put it down over here or use my rag and literally just wipe it off the brush. So I think this is it. Might add a touch of this. Oh, too much, get rid of that. And then let's have a look. Yeah, that's really, I think that's very good. Okay, so now, last of all, this. So I can hope you see how this little exercise is so helpful. It's basically one of the most important things you're doing is mixing your colours and getting the right balance of water to pigment, getting the right kind of colour. It's so important. Okay, we can use some of this. And touch of this. Yeah, and I think that's it. You can see it's perfect. Okay, let's try a touch more. Sometimes overdo it because you can always start again and make it a bit more watery. Too much water, dab on my rag, and then here we go. Yeah, lovely. Great. So now I'm going to do one more set, and this time I'm going to do a very watery mix. So I'm going to clean this up and this a bit. Let's wipe this up. And then lots of water this time. So my water is slightly tinted now, but it's okay. Oh, too much paint there, so wipe some off. Yeah, and then wipe some on the rag. And then add a lot of water. Lots of water. Maybe too watery, so a bit more pigment. So you can see how I'm playing around with it. And I think that's perfect. So here we go. Yeah, and look at that. Just one colour, but it's like 3 colours almost in one. Look at all these colours we're making just from 2. It's quite incredible. Okay, so now get some of this blue, add lots of water. I think that's it. It's beautiful looking, isn't it? It's really beautiful. Okay, yes. And there we go, look at that. So different. And now the one in the middle. So I'm going to take a load of that, some of this, more of this, and maybe it's that one. That looks about right. And then let's add a tiny bit of blue. Ooh, so that's what I mean when you're dealing with these real wishy-washy mixes. It's so easy to change the colour. It will change so quickly. Okay, so I think this needs a bit more red. Yeah, that's it, I think now. Oh yeah. It's really a bit like cooking and mixing things up, I suppose, in a way. Yeah, you can see that, can't you? That same kind of hue. Okay, and finally this one. Okay, so I think this is it. I might add a touch of red. Ooh, get rid of some of it. Then if I need a bit more, just add a bit more. And I think that's it. Okay, maybe add a bit more blue. See what happens. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, maybe a touch more. And there we go, finished. So from 2 colours we've made 15 colours in a way. So please have a go, and I wish you all the best.